Hey guys, so in today's book review I wanted to talk about The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley, and I really enjoyed this book. I wanted this book when it first came out. It came out probably over a year ago now, and I remember seeing it around BookTube and seeing it in the bookshops, and I really wanted it. And I think it was like a few months ago I found it in a charity shop for like £2.49, so I was like, I'm definitely picking this book up. I also picked up around the same time The Guest List, which is another book written by this author. It was written after this one, and I've been looking through my bookshelves recently and I kind of stopped subscribing to book subscriptions because of money situations, but also because I want to work my way through my bookshelves, and I have so many books I bought recently or in the past few months that I've been wanting to read for a very long time and haven't got around to reading, and my TBR has just been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. But also I want to start resubscribing to some of the book boxes now, but before I do that I want to get through my TBR list. So these next few months I'm going to be reading all the books that I've been really wanting to read but putting off and haven't read them, and this was one of those books. And I was not disappointed. So when I first saw this book I was like, it's going to be in a closed setting with a group of people, and it's basically like a mystery whodunit kind of a thing. Like on the back the synopsis is very short and it literally just says, in a remote hunting lodge deep in the Scottish wilderness, old friends gather for New Year's. The beautiful one, the golden couple, the violent one, the new parents, the quiet one, the city boy, and the outsider and the victim. It's not an accident, a murder among friends. So yeah, like it says, a group of friends who have known each other since way back in college, university days. They're a group of friends who have kind of come from like privileged backgrounds. They're all quite rich, they all went to Oxford, and they're very like cliched, these people. They all decide to go to this remote lodge, this fancy lodge in Scotland, and those are basically the only characters in the book. You have the group of friends, you have like the manager of the site, a groundskeeper, and that's pretty much it. And then you just have the characters. And I will say, although you know it's quite a enclosed space that this book is written in, to begin with I did get a little bit confused with some of the characters, like who was actually with who, because it kind of didn't do it all in one go in one chapter, introducing all the characters one by one. It jumped back and forth a little bit between the characters. So it took me a little while to figure out who was actually coupled with who. You have a gay couple, you have a couple who has just had a baby, you then have the couple who are kind of seen as the newbies who entered the group a little bit later, and then you have like the rich couple, like the popular girl and the popular boy in school who got together, and then you have the one girl who is a singleton on her own. But they've all been friends for a very long time, and they all have slightly, their relationships are funny, like they're quite realistic relationships to read, but you know, like when you're an adult and you've known people for a long time, there's that slight competition between people. This book explores that really well, the competition between the different couples and where they are in their lives at different points, what you know they have and what other people don't have. I thought that was written really well. It really kept you guessing not only who the murderer was, but also who was the victim, which I thought really interesting, because throughout the book, like, you learn, obviously you know there's going to be a murder from the synopsis and the premise of the book, but from very early on it jumps a little bit back and forth between times. So you're going between the build up to New Year's and then after New Year's, obviously when there is the person who's been murdered and the corpse has been discovered, and you're trying to figure out who's done it, but it doesn't reveal details about the death or about the corpse, so you don't know which character has actually died in the book. And I did manage to guess who it was going to be, but who the actual murderer was, I did keep going back and forth with my choices of who I thought it was going to be. I thought it was very well written in that way. I really liked not knowing who even the victim was, so you had like 2 mysteries to kind of solve throughout the book. I thought that was really good, and it was well written. It wasn't fast paced. It was quite a slow build up in between the characters learning about their different personalities. Another thing that I thought was quite interesting, you only get the perspective of some of the characters, but not all of them. And I think it would have been interesting to hear from all of the characters, because there were some characters where I thought we were going to get chapters about them and their perspective, because it's written from the character's perspective each chapter. It starts with a different name, so we have Kate here, so you're reading from Kate's perspective, who's the singleton in the group. Then you have Miranda, who's the popular girl, and you have her perspective. I think you hear from most of the women's perspectives, apart from one, which is the new mum, Samara. So yeah, I found that a little bit strange that not all of the characters got their perspectives. And I think it would be interesting to hear from all of them, because they were all such different personalities. But yeah, very well written. Like I said, I liked not knowing, you know, who the victim was until the end as well. It was very like slow reveals throughout the book, where you got more and more information about their different relationships between each other and how they felt about each other as the story goes on. And yeah, all the gossip between them. You kind of feel when you're reading this, it feels like you're within the friend group, like listening to them all bitch and gossip about each other, and you're slowly getting the information as the book goes on, and I really enjoyed that. Yeah, I really like that writing style. I'm definitely go on to her next book, because her next book, The Guest List, is quite a similar premise. It's set, I think, in a wedding on an island, and again someone gets murdered and you have to figure it out, I'm guessing. And I'm wondering if she's going to do the same thing where you don't know who the victim is either. So yeah, I'm definitely going to read that book next. But overall, definitely lived up to my expectations. If you like mystery books, then you're definitely going to like this one, I feel. I really enjoyed it. It says it was twisty, riveting and superb. And yeah, I would agree with that. Everyone's invited, everyone's a suspect. And yeah, the way their relationships is, it did kind of keep you guessing, oh, could it be that person or could it be this person? And loads of other like scandals and secrets were revealed along the way. And yeah, it was just a really interesting read. I mean, for me, when it comes to mysteries, I like quite fast paced books, and I wouldn't say this was fast paced. It's about 139 pages, so it's like nearly 400 pages, which for me is quite a long mystery book. Like I said, I normally like quite fast paced ones, but this one, the way it kept revealing things throughout the story, it definitely kept me hooked in what was going to happen. So yeah, that's pretty much my quick little review of The Hunting Party. I'm so glad I finally got around to reading it. I'm definitely going to read The Guest List next, and then I might do a video showing my bookshelves and showing like my TBR list of what books I've got coming up to read, because I have some really good books that I've been, like I said, just putting off for a while, and I've had so many books coming in to my home and I'm not being able to read through them. So I need to do an unhaul, and I need to do like sorting out of piles of what books I'm going to read next. I have a lot of horror and thriller to get through, and then yeah, I'm going to get through as much as I can in the next 2 months. Then I'll be resubscribing to some of the book boxes that I love. I'll be resubscribing to the Abominable Book Club, which is the one I normally do on this channel. And I think I'm also going to get another round of Prudence and the Crow, which was like a vintage book box, which I did a couple years back now, and I really enjoyed that one. So I might have both of those soon to be reviewing. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. Let me know if you've read this book and your thoughts. Did you enjoy it? From most of the reviews that I saw, it was mostly well received, this book, which was why I was just so excited to pick this up. I don't know why it took me so long to get round to reading it, but yeah, like I said, I've just had a lot of books coming in recently, so I have lots of books to review for you. So yeah, that's all I have to say for now. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, bye guys.